Sagittarius, pull up a chair, pour something warm, and let's talk. I'm speaking to you today as someone who's spent years reading charts, tracking planetary cycles, and quietly observing how those cycles show up in real people with real bills, real families, and real hearts. I've watched Sagittarius rise and fall and rise again more times than I can count. Your pattern is unmistakable. When the horizon calls, you answer. When the path splits, you don't panic, you scout. And when life says prove it, you do, usually with a grin and a plane ticket. This September 2025 energy around you is unusually crisp. It's like walking into a room after a storm and noticing everything is oddly in focus. Your instincts sharpen. Your humor gets sharper, too. You might have to holster a few quips, save the pointed arrows for the target, not the bystanders. There's a new momentum here, but it isn't about reckless acceleration. It's about intelligent fire, passion guided by pattern, enthusiasm trained by experience. Think, less wild bonfire, more precision forge. I'm going to speak to two tracks: love/relationships first, then your general life compass, work, money, purpose, family. I'll weave in psychology, social realities, and yes, a bit of Buddhist practicality. And I'll speak plainly. I don't sugarcoat, but I do respect how resilient Sagittarius can be when given straightforward truth and a workable path. Love and relationships, building without cracks. Let's start with the obvious pull. Someone is curious about you. That curiosity is not casual, it's investigative. Call it the page of curiosity vibe. The person who scrolls, listens, checks their assumptions, and asks better questions the second time they ask them. That can be a fresh face or a recurring character. Either way, their interest is moving from who are you, to a how do we fit. That's a meaningful shift. On your side, attraction is not the issue. Chemistry comes easily this month. Sagittarius rarely fakes warmth, and when it's there, it's real. But you've matured into a different kind of chooser. You're not rearranging your life to audition for someone else's movie. If they're meant to share your path, the merge should feel like traffic that knows the rules, signals, timing, and mutual awareness, not like a lane invasion. That's not ego, that's mental health. Here is the friction point. There's old pain in the room, and it wants a voice. It doesn't want the relationship destroyed, it wants acknowledgement. Psychology has a boring, accurate rule: unprocessed grief doesn't vanish, it negotiates for attention. Communication, then, is less define the relationship and more define the foundation. What are we building on? Is the ground stable? Is there a hairline fracture we'd rather not discuss? This month rewards the couples who pause construction to check the blueprint. The pause isn't anticlimax, it's quality control. Think of it this way: the wrong kind of speed makes messes faster. The right kind of speed emerges from clarity. You're being offered clarity. Two likely storylines. 1. The path of integration. You and this person want something durable. They see the long game. You see the long game. The obstacle isn't desire, it's interference, noise from gossip, jealous onlookers, or internal noise from past narratives. You two can win this if you handle 3 things. 1. Boundaries with outsiders. Your life is not a group project. Hand out fewer backstage passes. 2. Process the previous chapter. If one of you ended something recently, call it what it is. Buddhists would say, meet the truth, breathe, and don't cling. Not clinging is different than not caring. It's what allows new love to stand on 2 feet. 3. Pace the build. Slow is not anti-romance. Slow is pro-survival. An honest weekly check-in, 10 minutes, phones down, state of us will save you 30 hours of confusion. Pro tip for the pragmatic archer: handle the boring details early. Money talk, schedule realities, non-negotiables. Sangha wisdom, right effort includes the unsexy chores that prevent suffering later. 2. The path of self-priority. For another set of you, the arc is different. You choose freedom without fuss. You may keep dating, you may keep smiling, but your core focus is your trajectory. That is not avoidance, that's alignment. The people who belong to your next chapter will be walking in the same direction, no leash required. If someone tries to hurry you along with anxious logic, that reveals a mismatch in tempo, not a deficiency in your heart. Humor note: if a date tells you that love should be effortless, ask them when in history anything worthwhile was built effortlessly. Then buy them a coffee and wish them well. No sarcasm, just Sagittarius grace. Micro advisories for love, September 2025. If they're still disentangling from someone else's papers, practicalities, or emotional residue, give it time or give it space. Both are loving choices. One is patient, the other is clean. If the connection is new and electric, celebrate the spark, then interview for values. You're not recruiting a crush, you're hiring a co-architect. If this is a reunion energy, the question isn't do we miss each other? It's can we run a better system now? Missing someone is not a plan. Your specific magic this month is the blend of warmth and standards. Keep both. Charm without standards attracts chaos, standards without warmth attract performance anxiety. And yes, sprinkle a little of that chosen one's spirit where it fits. Not elitism, the sacred sense that those who do the work of awareness naturally become examples. You don't have to carry a banner, you just have to carry yourself. If there's a banner this year, it reads Year of Triumph 2025, not Year of Perfect, but Triumph, the arc of effort meeting opportunity. General life compass, work, money, purpose, family. Here's the headline: September wants you visible and effective, but your visibility must be built on rest and recalibration. You're entering a month that acts like an upgrade window. Imagine your phone at night plugged in, screen dim, system quietly replacing outdated files. That's you. Sleep is strategy now, not laziness. When you wake, your mind processes faster and your choices simplify. Career and creativity, the red carpet door. There's a door marked New Initiative. It might be a project, a role, a client, or a creative push. It has that ace of initiation feel: fresh, unignorable, slightly terrifying. The opportunity is legitimate. The fear is also legitimate. Address the fear, not by shrinking, but by designing your container. Define scope. What, exactly, are you delivering in the next 30 days? Write it. Sagittarius vision is huge. September needs your scope to be crisp. Name your helpers. Lone wolves burn out. Pick 2 allies, a technical pro and a social translator, someone who can sell your ideas to non-specialists. Timebox exploration. Give yourself a daily block for curiosity, learning, testing, playing. When the time is up, shift to production. This keeps your fire fun and your outcomes tangible. If you're in the arts, the muse is loud. If you're in leadership, your charisma is marketable. If you're in teaching or knowledge work, your ability to explain complex things simply is money in the bank. Your challenge: don't let comparisons undercut your output. The marketplace rewards the first who ships with heart, not the one who waits to be flawless. Money, short-term tightness, long-term lift. Expect a brief squeeze followed by relief. This is not punishment, it's a budgeting drill from the universe. The fix is practical. Cash flow clarity. 2 columns, recurring in, recurring out. No shame, just data. 1 strategic expense to protect future you. Maybe it's software, a course, or legal structure. 1 thing that compounds. A 10% fun line. You're a fire sign. If you ban joy, you'll spend impulsively later. Budget a little celebration on purpose, call it Sagittarius damage prevention. Buddhist framing, right livelihood is not only how you earn, it's how your earning reduces your suffering and the suffering of those you love. If your revenue plan makes you chronically anxious, refine the plan. Family and friends, spotlight effect and the jealousy ripple. When a sag gets hot, people feel it. Most will cheer, a few will itch. You can't solve other people's self-comparisons, but you can lower the drama index by setting the tone. Be generous with credit. I learned that from you. Your advice saved me a week. Couldn't have done it without our late-night brainstorm. It's not performative, it's true. You stand taller when people around you feel seen. If a family member fishes for the earlier, more manageable version of you, bless them, and let the conversation end when it needs to. There's no virtue in dimming to keep the peace. Peace built on self-erasure is not peace, it's resentment with good manners. Health and energy, fire requires fuel. Your body will feel like a well-tuned instrument for half the month, provided you treat it like one. Hydration, heat training, or brisk walks, and breath work are essential. A 2-minute Buddhist-inspired practice. 1. Sit. Notice the inhale like you're greeting an old friend. 2. Notice the exhale like you're letting a guest leave without chasing them to the driveway. 3. Count 10 cycles. If a thought barges in, bow to it mentally and return to breath. 2 minutes. Do it before meetings, dates, and decisions. You're not trying to become thoughtless, you're training your archer's eye. Psychological edge, the Sagittarian thesis. At your best, you're a philosopher-athlete, you ask big questions and then you move. September wants both. Where you'll trip is the liminal half-space, overthinking without choosing or choosing without reflection. Instead, use a 3-step loop. 1. Sense. What is actually happening, not what you fear is happening. 2. Select. Among the viable options, which aligns with your values and constraints. 3. Shoot. Commit visibly. No ghosting your own decision. Then review gently in 7 days. That cadence creates momentum without self-bullying. Practical playbook for September. 1 weekly review, 30 minutes. What moved forward? What stalled? What needs renegotiation? Write 1 promise you can keep this week that moves a key project 1 square ahead. Keep promises to yourself the way you keep them to others. That's self-esteem, not self-help fluff. 1 boundary conversation. If there's a taker in your orbit, address it now. Use a clean, American direct tone. I like you and I want this to work. Here's what I can offer. Here's what I can't. Can you work with that? If they can't, they've opted out for you. 1 creative risk. Post the draft. Pitch the client. Read the poem at the mic. You're not auditioning for perfect, you're auditioning for momentum. 1 act of generosity. Help someone with no ask. Not for karma points, just to remind your nervous system that abundance circulates. Sag happiness spikes when you're part of circulation. Humor, because you're you. You'll have at least 1 I can do everything morning followed by a why is the laundry judging me afternoon. That's normal. Celebrate the morning, forgive the afternoon. A stranger may misread your confidence as flirtation. Smile, correct the data, keep walking. Charisma is not a contract. If you're tempted to order a 3rd coffee and rewrite your life plan at 10 p.m., close the laptop. Triumph loves mornings. For the lovers, and the almost lovers. If someone is earnest, curious, and willing to match your consistency, let them audition for your calendar, not just your heart. Compatibility is a scheduling language. If they crowd your busiest days and vanish on the open ones, that's not mystery, that's misalignment. If they ask, how can I support you this week, and then actually do that, that's the rare thing you think you have to find on another continent. It's right here. If you are the one who needs time, say it without apology. I like this. I also need to keep promises to myself. Can you meet me at this pace? Say it in that tone. No essays. If they hear you, relief follows. If they don't, clarity follows. Both are gifts. And for those sensing a karmic pattern closing, maybe a multi-year loop that kept you half-hooked, half-hopeful, September offers a dignified ending. Not a door slam, a door click. The difference? A slam is about anger, a click is about certainty. Spiritual lens, desire with discernment. Desire is not the enemy. Clinging is. Buddhism doesn't say don't love, it says don't chain yourself to the outcome. Love is free to breathe when you let it. Work is free to become excellent when you detach from immediate validation. Fame, even the small, local kind, is free to serve when you understand it's a tool, not an identity. Try this mantra before big choices. I commit fully and release gently. Commitment gives your fire its aim. Release gives your heart its room. The chosen one's thread used properly. I promised I'd use this idea without abusing it. Here's how it belongs. The chosen ones are not chosen by fate's favoritism, they're chosen by their habits. They choose the uncomfortable truth over the comforting story. They choose the pause over the panic. They choose to treat their gift as a responsibility. If that's you, if you build your days that way, you don't need the world to crown you. Life will keep handing you higher stakes tasks because you keep proving you can carry them with humor and care. That's the real year of Triumph 2025 flavor, triumph as a reliable pattern, not a one-day headline. Situational scripts, steal these lines. When someone pushes for a label before you're ready. I'm enjoying this, and I want to make good decisions. Can we revisit this after we've done 3 real-world things together? A shared problem, a family moment, and a quiet day? That's the data I need. When a teammate won't stop comparing themselves to you. I'm running my race, I want you to win yours. If you want, I'll share my process. If not, I'll cheer you from 2 lanes over. When your own brain starts catastrophizing at 1 a.m. Not now. The archer shoots in daylight. Put the worry in tomorrow's calendar. Then keep the appointment. A note on timing. The first 10 days incline you toward research and planning. Mid-month brings the ignition pitches, launches, and the kind of coincidence that doesn't feel accidental. The last week is cleanup and consolidation, the emails you owe, the thank yous you forget when you're flying. Do those. Their relationship infrastructure. Also, if you need to reassess a collaboration, do it in the final 5 days. You'll be factual, not fiery. Final encouragement. Sagittarius, you are allowed to be big this month. Big dreams, big laughter, big competence. Your task is not to prove your worth, it's to organize it so it benefits your world without burning you down. If love is meant to walk with you, it will find your pace and match your honesty. If work is meant to showcase you, it will arrive with both a challenge and a runway. And if old stories try to sneak back in, thank them for their service and send them home. When in doubt, remember your 3 arrows: clarity, courage, kindness. Clarity keeps your map honest. Courage keeps your feet moving. Kindness keeps you human, lovable, and lucky. Walk through September like a person who trusts their own aim. You don't need to shout that you're one of the chosen ones. Just live like someone who chooses well. That's more than enough. And if you want a small ritual to mark the year of Triumph 2025 energy, 1 candle, 1 page of intentions, 1 act of generosity within 24 hours. Light, write, give. Then do your day. Triumph isn't a miracle, it's a rhythm. You're already in it.